Hi everyone, welcome back. This is a journal that I have made for one of my sons. I have 4 children, and this is for one of my sons who is actually back getting his master's degree in business and management. So I wanted something for him that kind of reflected that. This book is based on a course by Nik the Booksmith. It's the Ledger Journal, and it also features a Victorian ladies journal. I like the size. It's really, really cool. This is about, I want to say 4.5 by 8 3/4 with a 1.5 inch spine, which is just a nice size. You'll notice this is a Tim Holtz paper. This is a printout from one of her digital prints that you can order from Etsy. This is a cloth spine that I painted. Then this is actually more of that exact same paper. This, believe it or not, this is actually a suspender button. I have another son, different one, who loves suspenders. He wears suspenders all the time, especially on his work pants. This was an extra button he had. I decided to use it here. Then this is kind of a twine that I had and used that as the closure. Going inside, I decided the easiest way is not to untie it and retie it, but to simply press it down. Now going inside, this is all bound. It's done in the I can't remember what it's called, but it's where when you open it out, it now lies totally flat, which is really, really a nice thing. This is part of an envelope, a file folder actually, and then most of the stuff you'll see in here is either Tim Holtz or Nik the Booksmith, and this is another Nik the Booksmith printable. Then each signature, there are 5 signatures I printed off. She had some dirty papers. That was one of her digital kits that I printed off. These are from that. And then on the back side, one of her dirty papers was just coffee dyed paper or tea dye stained paper. So I made sure, I never like seeing just plain white on the back. So when I printed these out, I made sure I printed the back side. The reason these are a little bit crumply is I also took a spray bottle and sprayed each page lightly with water, so it kind of looks like it looks old and vintage. It's kind of wrinkly. Then everything else in here is going to be pretty much coffee dyed of some kind. I'm a coffee dye, not a tea dye person, just for whatever reason I like that. This is another printable from Nik the Booksmith. More coffee dyed paper. I can't think of what this is. Composition notebook paper. That's what that is. More coffee dyed paper. This is Tim Holtz. It's just in the middle. Then more coffee dyed paper. I think this, and I just used regular paper clips on this one. I think this is also from Nik the Booksmith. Now, unfortunately, I should have written this all down. I don't remember which digital kit it is from, but it is Nik the Booksmith again. More lovely coffee dyed paper. So this is a book, the Nik the Booksmith, and this is Tim Holtz. This I think was Nik the Booksmith. Nope, that's Tim Holtz. So that's a little Tim Holtz tuck spot that I put there. And then again, the next signature, and a little bit more, a date thing from Nik. This is coffee dyed tracing paper. I have to put it in because I love the sound of it. Just a personal thing. This was really cool. So the way I did this set of coffee dyed paper was I just made a giant stack of it in my oven. And as I got towards the bottom pieces were flat because they'd been flattened out by all the other pages. This was the one probably on the very bottom, and it made this really cool pattern, and I knew I wanted to use that in this book. Not sure why, but I knew I wanted that to go in a book for my son Stephen. I did scan it before I put it in the book. So you may see it again. Again, this is a Tim Holtz and this is a Nik the Booksmith. I just kept mixing them together. Nice little tuck spot there. That, woo! Yes, I love that paper, sorry. No, I'm not sorry, I love that paper. Some more just blank paper for journaling. The center one, this was a ledger piece, so what I did was I printed this. I also printed this out, then glued them together. So this is a little bit thicker, and now that I'm looking at this, I probably could have made it a little bit bigger, but I really am happy with it as a center signature and not being all the same size paper. Again, this is from Tim Holtz. This is Nik the Booksmith, and this is Tim Holtz again. This one says, creativity is seeing things everyone else has seen and thinking what no one else has ever thought. My son is very artistic, and I wanted something like that to encourage him. The middle, this is from a hanging file folder, and it says confidential. Then this is a Tim Holtz, I don't even know what those are called. Anyway, I put that on there so that opens up, kind of a fun interactive thing in the middle. More of the ledger paper. And then this was just one of the pieces, I think, from that paper as well. So this can be journaled on both sides, and I just folded that up. How did I do that? Oh, I did it this way. And then just tucked it in there. Fragile, handled with care. I love that. Those are from Nik. And then this is, I think this is from those grungy papers too, but this may be from a planner. Again, digital printout from Nik. Special handling, that's Nik the Booksmith. Oh, this is this really cool old book that I have, that I got, I think it's from the 1930s, and it was a secretary's book. So it has, not only does it have a dictionary in it, but it also has all these really cool pages. And because he's in business and that kind of thing, I wanted to do something like that. Again, another little tiny Tim Holtz, and Tim Holtz. This was all Tim Holtz. I think I may have cut apart one of those pages. And then just some blank pages for journaling, book page. This, again, is Tim Holtz. This was, I believe, from one of his French books. This is just something written in French. My son also studied French and has actually gone to France, so I thought that was kind of a cool thing for him to have. That's the end of the fourth signature. This is the fifth one. So there's a little airmail stamp and another page from Nik the Booksmith. So there were two pages, and I cut them apart and made this one. A copy of Clair de Lune, which is an old music piece. That's piano. A guest check in the middle. And that music paper. This, again, is part of that hanging file. I cut out just another piece, and it says for you. And these are actually both from Nik the Booksmith again. This one says keep this book clean. It's a library card, and this says scrapbook, and it's actually a bookmark that can be used in here. Then that is the end, and then I put another Tim Holtz pocket in the back. This again is a Tim Holtz piece, and this also I cut out of that Tim Holtz. And this paper is all Tim Holtz. So I hope you enjoyed all of this flip through. I hope to have plenty of more journals for flipping through as well. Hopefully you get some ideas. Most of these ideas I have gotten from other YouTubers, and so I encourage you to always check out whatever other people have. There are so many amazing creative people out there, and they share so that you too can be creative. So I hope I've inspired you a little bit today to get creative. Things like using a suspender button might be a cute thing. So be creative, think outside the box. Until next time, I hope you have a great day.